Thank you very much, Brother Shalom. Greetings to you all. I hope you are all enjoying the beautiful weather in your part of the world, just as we of the endless winter are finally starting to enjoy ours. Now, I was fortunate enough to go golfing the other day with one of the best friends anyone can have. We do not get together often enough or play golf often enough, and not simply because he's a fantastic golfer and I am mediocre at best, but because we too often fall prey to the let's get together syndrome. And before you know it, another year has passed. Friends, everyone leads busy lives, and today people seem to be busier than ever before. But remember to call and or see your friends. Our world is built on intention, so bring them to fruition. He'd given me a compass, and in its housing had engraved the immortal words of Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And looked down one, as far as I could, to where it bent, in the undergrowth. I have spent most of my life on the road not taken, and sometimes I have lost my way and confused my true north. But we can always find our way home, and we can always be there for a friend. This week, unexpected loss struck our little community as three different unconnected people lost loved ones. Unconnected in terms of their knowing each other, but not unconnected in being a part of a community that loves and shares and cares together. Yael, you lost a beloved cousin, one you were traveling halfway across the world to see. Esther Butt Margot will be sorely missed. Leora, first in line to help anyone you can. Kind, caring. And now you've lost your 92-year-old aunt, Leah Bat Yosef. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Dayan ha'amet. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, the true judge. And Helen, I have known you most of my life. You have seen my greatest triumphs and my deepest despairs. And you've always been there for me. The loss of your father, Sheldon, Shlomo HaKohen, Ben Moshe V'Friedel, is a loss to all who knew him. A true patriarch. I know what he meant to you, to your sisters, to your wonderful mother Miriam, to the family he leaves, yes, to everyone who knew him. To say he will be missed is not enough. Alav HaShalom, may he rest in peace. And it was not that long ago I said I would go with you to visit your folks, and I am sorry that I did not make it happen. Our sages remind us, monuments are not built for the righteous. Their deeds are their memorials. They are remembered for the kindness they have shown, for the love they have given. May their souls be bound in the bond of everlasting life with the other righteous men and women in the Garden of Eden. Now this parsha opens, as so many now do, Vadeber Adonai al Moshe Lemor. And God spoke to Moses saying, and that has almost become an ominous phrase. And though the people do not know it yet, in this parsha that becomes a life-changing phrase of epic proportion. The God who clothed Adam and Eve, who shut the windows to Noah's ark, who walked among men, who made Joseph father to Pharaoh, who brought the gift of freedom to all, is about to condemn an entire generation. And it seems harsh. Shilach, send men, and let them scout the land of Canaan that I'm given to the children of Israel. You shall send one man for each tribe of his fathers, every one of them a chieftain. This story is commonly referred to as the episode of the spies. But the men whom Moses sends are tribal leaders, not ordinary scouts. The function of their mission is not espionage, but observation. This, my friends, is one of the great mistranslations in the Torah. These men are leaders. That is why their negativity when they return is so devastating. It's not just a disappointing piece of intelligence. It seems today we've gotten quite used to that. No, this story is the story of failure to lead and failure to encourage. It is the failure of command. It is about the ability to lead, about who we follow, about who we ourselves lead, about our intent, and about our ability to face our fear. As Maxwell Smart, secret agent 86 would say, sorry about that, Chief. You will read it and see. These are not very good spies. They are much more Maxwell Smart than James Bond. Now, they did observe a land that truly was flowing with milk and honey, and was everything that they'd been promised. But their fear overtook them. We read in Numbers 13:22 two very interesting things. And they went up in the Negev, came to Hebron, and Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, the offspring of the giants, were there. Now, first, it brings us back to Hebron, the site of Abraham's greeting the three angels, where he first spoke with God, and where the matriarchs and patriarchs are buried. Second, it takes us back to the mythical, lightly passed over section 6 of Genesis, with the story of the giants and their descent from the angels. But friends, more than anything, it particularly symbolizes that this is a return home, back to Hebron. And they came back from scouting the land at the end of 40 days. Now, they reported stalks of grapes that took 2 men to carry, that the land was flowing with milk and honey, and everything was great. Nonetheless, the people who live in the land are strong, and the cities are fortified very big. And also we saw the offspring of the giants there. And then they embellished the story a little, and they add that the people were stronger than they, the land would eat them, and the giants make them look like grasshoppers. And so the people, all the children of Israel, complained at Moses and Aaron, and all the congregation said to them, "If only we had died in the land of Egypt, or in this wilderness, if only we had died. Oh, woe is me." Time for a complaint, my friends. Now, have you ever heard the expression, "Be careful what you ask for"? Well, friends, they get their wish. None of this generation, the closest to God of all people of all time, the witnesses to the Epiphany, the daily miracles, the power, are condemned to death for their belief instead in fear. Fear makes us question. It makes us panic. It makes us project negative thoughts and bring them to life. It is Egypt and Mitzrayim, confinement, your Pharaoh. It is our own judgment city. What, my friends, are the things you still fear? It is why Passover was the dominant holiday to biblical man, and we have forgotten. Nothing is more important than freedom. And God says, "How long will they not trust in me, with all the signs that I've done among them?" Now, why in fact do the people not trust? Why are they still afraid and doubtful? They've seen their God handle Egypt, the major power of the world. Why would they doubt that he can handle the Canaanites? They've seen him manipulate the whole of nature, with the 10 plagues and the splitting of the sea. They have seen water come from a mountain crag. They've heard God's voice from the sky at Sinai. They are eating miraculous manna every day. They've just miraculously been provided with quail to eat, all they can eat. Even as they complain in this moment, there is a miraculous column of cloud and fire right in front of them. Why are they afraid? What was true, my friends, when they left Egypt is still true. They are still slaves in their hearts. God decides to kill everyone. I'd start again with Moses, but Moses suggests that it is more powerful to be merciful than to punish. Now, in some circumstances, compassion is weakness. In others, it requires great strength. Abraham had made no difference in the Sodom and Gomorrah bargain, but Moses here, he's pictured as actually making a difference in a divine decision and in the fate of the people, and he does it by appealing to God's ego. What will the world think if you went to the trouble of freeing these people from Egypt and had to kill them instead of deliver them to the land you promised? So he's basically saying to God, were he now to destroy the Israelites, the effect would be to unravel the great complexity of the Exodus by encouraging the nations to question whether the Lord has any real power. The ego of man projected right on to God. Wow, I'm surprised he didn't ask God if God wanted to share in the fun of painting a fence. So God says, say to them, "As I live, the Lord declares, just as you've spoken in my ears, that is what I will do to you. In this wilderness your corpses will fall, and all your reckoned ones, from 20 years old and up, for you have complained against me. You shall never come into the land about which I lifted up my hand, vowing to make you dwell within it. And of course, all your reckoned ones means the incredible census conducted at the beginning of this book with so much fanfare about to be undone. Now, the people bring about their own fate. It's another case of ironic divine punishment to suit the crime. They could have had the land and lived, but they were afraid and said they would die, and their children would be made captives. So now they will in fact die, but their children will live and one day be free in the land. This is the most dramatic demonstration yet of the people's persistent slave mentality. I and I, in creation where one's nature neither honors nor forgives. I and I, one say to the other, no man sees my face and lives. My friends, Judaism and subsequently Christianity and Islam are based on your intention, kavanah. If you are fear-based, you will not get very far. You imprison yourself by thought. If you are avoiding something, you are fear-based. This generation was fear-based. Their children were not. But we must ask ourselves, what do we tell ourselves? What do we tell our kids? Are we fear-based? Have we made our kids fear-based? The wilderness generation is not ready for the life of a free people in a land of their own. And so this is left for their children, who grow up not knowing the experience of having been slaves. How do you reverse an entire generation's experience? Now, in our own age, we see the impact on the lives of survivors of the Holocaust. Some become more religious. Some reject religion outright. Some cannot speak of it, and some speak of it constantly. Some return to the sites where they suffered, and some will never go back. It affects their medical decisions, their way of raising children, their trust of other human beings, their work, their thoughts, their opinions, and their memories. Their children carry tremendous loads of guilt and obligation, but they have a chance of knowing a kind of freedom that their parents cannot know. Friends, your perceptions form your reality, and that lesson is apparent here. The perception of fear instead of opportunity and wonder created a 40-year journey to a location 11 days away. Lord, I was born a rambling man, trying to make a living and doing the best I can. When it's time for leaving, I hope you'll understand that I was born a rambling man. And friends, I think we all know people who are still rambling. Perception, intention, kavanah. Now I'm reminded of the Sufi story of the twins about to be born, growing and living in complete peace and harmony within the womb around them, tethered to their mother, nurtured, knowing only love and comfort, wondering, what would life after birth be like? Is there one? No one had ever come back to talk about it. Did they still feel the universal connection to the entire world? Did conception end in birth? Was there really a mother? How could they know? Perhaps it was only a concept to give them comfort. So the days leading to birth became different for both of them. One was fear-based, fretted about it. The other was not and dismissed the worries. Do we not still ask ourselves those very same questions? The Bible, my friends, is unique. And throughout the Hebrew Bible, theology is an inseparable part of story. Israel's fealty to God is not a consequence of abstract theological principle, but of its experience of God's workings in histories. Friends, the story of the spies is still applicable in your life to this day. You must go for what you want. Do not let fear dissuade you. If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. But you better hurry, because it may not last. The world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Friends, light a candle. Make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, and honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everyone you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Took an untrodden path once, where the swift don't win the race. It goes to the worthy, who can divide the word of truth. Took a stranger to teach me to look into justice's beautiful face, to see an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. And remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. Helen, I am with you. Thank you all. Love you. See you all next time. Wishes do come true. Send all the goodwill you can to all these people who've suffered their great losses. Bless you all. Shabbat Shalom.